A little bit of flying while I was in Petersburg, and it just so happened that the man that I was fishing on, his oldest daughter, his only daughter, was married to Bud Boating, who was the chief pilot for Ellis in Ketchikan, and I got to meet him. And then, of course, when I went back to Seattle, I got activated in the Air Force during the Korean War, and I was in the Air Force for 21 months, and I used my GI Bill to get Korean GI Bill to get my instrument rating and my multi-engine C, and finish up on my commercial. And then I went to work for Northwest Airlines and was back in Minneapolis for about 6 weeks. And one of the courses we had in Minneapolis was for Northwest Airlines co-pilot was you had to learn to send and receive 10 words of Morse code a minute at the school. And so just about all 6 weeks I had an hour of Morse code every day, but I passed it. Don't ask me about it today, because it's been so long for me using Morse code that I certainly would have forgot. But Northwest lost the Korean airlift contract, and I came back to Seattle, and Northwest put me to work as a baggage handler. And then I got a call from Air Transport Associates, who were flying C-46s. They wanted me to fly co-pilot for them. So I took that job, and I worked for them for approximately 3 months. And most of these people were people that had flown the hump, and really most of them were very, very nice. The captains I'm talking about were really, really nice people. And I really liked one captain called Chapman. And we were in we would go like from the West Coast, from Seattle or Oakland or Paso Robles to Northeast Philadelphia, once in a while to Boston, Northeast Philadelphia, Baltimore Friendship, and occasionally to Atlanta, Georgia. But coming west, you always had the headwinds at 8,000 to 10,000 feet, and we used Evansville, Indiana. So you'd leave Seattle, you'd maybe be in Baltimore for a day or two, then you'd go to Evansville, Indiana, and you'd get off, and then you'd wait for the next airplane to come along, which would come the next day or another day afterwards, and go to California or go to Seattle. And you never got much time home. You know, you were constantly always living out of a suitcase. But this particular time, we picked up a flight in Evansville and went to Oakland. And when we landed in Oakland, we had 40 GIs that were going to Korea, because the war was still going on. And when we landed, I got on the ground, and I called ground, and I said that we need our honey bucket serviced. And the guy said, that's okay. He acknowledged it. We taxied up to right in front of Oakland Tower Terminal, and they put up this wooden ramp, and the GIs got off the airplane, and they unloaded the baggage, and the airplane, they pulled the ramp away, and we taxied over to the parking area and set the chocks and set the brakes and put the chocks under the airplane. Well, we went into town, and we came back 2 days later, and we opened the back door, and it was pretty odoriferous. And we taxied to the terminal and yelling at ground, we really need our honey bucket serviced. Well, passengers came on board the airplane, and the baggage came on board the airplane, and nobody. And we started the right engine, and Chapman said, Peter, you watch the right engine, you know, get the left engine ready to go. And he went to the back with the door open, and the ramp pulled away, and he just dumped most of the honey buckets out onto the ramp from the back of the C-46 and put them back in, shut the door. We fired up the left engine in great haste and taxied out of there. Well, it just so happened, about 10 days later, I'm with Chapman. We end up in Oakland again, and we're taxiing in, and we just shut the engines down in front of the terminal, and the honey bucket truck was there. They didn't want a repeat of that.